There's many, of course, but I can think of three offhand. One of them is called Generation to Generation by Edwin Friedman. He is or was a rabbi and counselor to presidents and five-star generals. Fascinating book, dense content. You need to read every page about 2 times to begin to understand it, but it's great for counseling and understanding family therapy. Another book is The Tale of Three Kings by Gene Edwards, who deals with authority, who deals with David when Saul was persecuting him, and then when his own son Absalom was persecuting. So he teaches you how to behave when your authority is throwing javelins at you, or when your own son is uprising against you. Fascinating book, real small, but it's powerful. And then, of course, one of my favorites is Watchman Needs Spiritual Authority. Teaches you how to be an authority and how to be under authority. Great book with great principles. Unfortunately, I've only written one. The Spanish is called Siembra Vientos y Cosecha Torbellinos. The English version is going to come out in about 4 weeks. Sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. I have another book in Spanish that's about 2 months from being released. That one is called Las Heridas del Ladrón, or The Wounds of the Thief. I am also, in about 60 days, going to release a devotional. When we do 40-day or 50-day or 21-day fast at our church, at Fountain of Truth Church, I send out a daily devotional to the congregation. I'm compiling those together and making them available for everybody. So in the next 60 days, we should have an English book and also a devotional, and then a Spanish, Las Heridas del Ladrón. Well, there's a lot of factors. Of course, the grace of God is the first one, and His mercies. But everybody should have the grace and the mercies of God, and yet some do not grow. So what is it? I believe that the spiritual food, the preaching and teaching that is given every Sunday or every week is crucial. The sheep, the flock will come to get fed. And if they know that there's a rich plate of spiritual food and Word of God, anointed and relevant, I think they will come. That's one, preaching. Another one is how we treat people. You can be a great preacher, but if we're arrogant, high-minded, if we're condescending with people, if we don't treat people well, even if they're in sin, even if they're disobedient, even if they're on the margin and rebellious, always be nice to people. Life comes in circles, and you'll meet those people 20 years later, and they'll remember. They won't remember what you said, maybe, but they'll remember your spirit and your tone. So being nice to people, and then putting them to work in their ministries according to their gift, that usually will help make a congregation grow. Well, in my experience, it begins with a really low flame, usually lightly fanned in deep times of personal prayer and aloneness with God. I would recommend, if anyone feeling that and wanting to have ministry, to continue in deep prayer, speak to God about it, and allow God to speak to your authority. It takes something away when you go up to your pastor, for example, and say, I want to be a minister, or I want to do this. That's not necessarily sin or bad, but it's better when you go to God and then God comes to your authority. Remember, the church does not give ministries. God gives ministries. The church recognizes the ministry. So when all that is in tune and aligned, then God will open the doors for you to minister. I always wanted to be a doctor, yes, since I was in junior high or even younger. And I did go to University of California, San Diego to study biology. I was in my 4th year when I went to preach a camp, and God messed me up. He took all that love I had for medicine and for anatomy. I used to love to work on cadavers and work in labs in the emergency room and working for doctors and studying. But I came back and God took that away and put in the ministry in my heart 100%. And since then, I've been working with the souls of men and not their bodies so much. come on over and we'll put you to work here. We have a new building and I have 3 brooms, one for each of you. Come, and the pay is awesome. We pay you with burritos and a great lunch.